expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Hebrew ebook before it's gone. Today's topic is how to speak more of your target language, specificity, and can-do checklists. How much of your target language can you speak right now? If your answer is not much, there is a way to speak more, even if you're learning on your own. In this episode, you'll discover 1. How specific goals can get you speaking more, and 2. How you can apply this learning tactic with our learning program or any other resource. But first, listen up. Here are this month's new lessons and resources. First, the Going Sightseeing Conversation Cheat Sheet. What country or city would you like to visit? With this PDF cheat sheet, you'll be able to talk about where you want to go, and you'll master all the common words and phrases for sightseeing. Second, the Most Common Nouns PDF ebook. You'll master over 90 common nouns with this bonus PDF picture ebook. You can download and review on any device. Third, can you talk about hairstyles? Would you be able to get a haircut in your target language? If not, then this 1-minute lesson is just what you need. Fourth, phrases to use with your doctor. I have an appointment. I don't feel well. My throat hurts. You'll learn how to say these phrases and much more. Fifth, can you talk about books in your target language? Learn how to say novel, author, thriller, and much more with this quick vocab bonus. To get your free resources, click the link in the description below right now. They're yours to keep forever. Okay, let's jump into today's topic. How to speak more of your target language, specificity and can-do checklists. Every learner wants to speak more in their target language, and yet speaking is almost always the weakest skill for most learners. So, how do you fix this? How do you speak more? Keep watching. These tips will apply to solo learners and those with a conversation partner. First, let's put language learning aside. Let's say you wanted to speak more about a certain topic in your native language. What would that depend on? The length of that conversation depends on how much you know about that topic, right? If you don't know much, that conversation won't last long. If you know a lot, you could go on for hours. It's the same with language learning. The more words and phrases you know around a certain topic, the more you can speak. It's a top-down approach. Pick a topic, for example, weather, and work your way down. Learn the relevant words, phrases, and questions for that topic. For example, what's the weather like? It's nice weather. It's sunny. It's windy. I like sunny weather. I don't like rain. The more lines you come up with, the more you'll be able to talk about the weather in your target language. The point is, if you want to speak more, you should start with a specific topic. Sounds obvious, right? So why don't most learners do this? Most learners don't do this because they're just passively following a learning resource without going after what they specifically want. It's much easier to follow a textbook than to stop, think about what you want to talk about, and go off in that direction. Of course, you should keep using your textbook or other existing resource. You can do both. Follow a resource and pursue specific topics. But here are a few reasons why this tactic is so powerful. First, specific goals always beat vague goals. For example, between setting goals like, I want to save money, and I want to save $50, you're more likely to succeed with the $50 goal. But because you have a specific number to look for and measure, you won't stop until that $0 becomes $10, then $20, and then $50. Same with language learning. Between, I want to learn more words, and I want to learn 20 words, you'll do much better with the specific goal. Second, you get to speak more sooner. You can go try the general approach of learning the 2,000 most common words, but that will take a long time and it won't get you speaking any faster. But if you pick a specific topic and get all the words and phrases for it, you'll be much better off. 3. So you know what to focus on. Again, knowing what to focus on helps you learn and progress faster. Otherwise, if you're just going through a textbook with no specific goal in mind, you'll spend months on learning a language and never see any real progress. So remember, the more specific you are with what you want, the more likely you'll get it, because you'll know exactly what you're looking for. This is why we tell you to set small, measurable, meaning specific, monthly goals. Now, what kind of topics should you pick? That depends on you and your hobbies and interests. You can also start with common topics, like talking about yourself, your family, the weather, or your weekend plans. But to make it easy for you, here's what you can do. 1. Download our free PDF conversation task list. Pick a topic to start with, for example, talking about your family. Then, take lessons inside our learning program based on that topic. You'll learn practical conversations that you can use in real life. And as a result, you'll be able to talk more about your family. 2. Take 5 or 10 minutes and write out other lines that you'd want to use, either in that conversation or questions that someone may ask you, and get them translated with the help of our Premium Plus teacher. 3. Come up with your own topics that are interesting to you. Then repeat step 2. Come up with all the phrases, questions, and answers that could come up in that conversation. Write them out and get them translated with your Premium Plus teacher. Or translate them with a translation software. You could try this, and it might not be perfect, but it could help you start and get you speaking a little bit more of your target language. The goal here is to be able to talk more about a specific topic, and as a result, speak more of your target language. So thank you for watching this episode of Monthly Review. Next time, we'll talk about what's your real reason for learning a language? If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way, and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. See you next time. Bye! If you're learning a new language, there will be times when you'll struggle with the lesson, when you won't fully understand what you've learned, when you'll be in a rut, or when you just won't feel like you're making any progress. And that's totally normal. In this video, you'll learn what to do if you're not learning, and how to overcome language learning struggles. Let's begin. Number 1. Understand the mindset of a successful learner. Some learners are more successful than others. A key difference between successful learners and less successful learners is in the way they approach problems. Some learners rely completely on a learning program. If there's a grammar rule or word they don't understand, they get frustrated and blame the program. They don't look for solutions. Successful learners approach problems a little differently. If they encounter a problem, they look for a solution or ask for help instead of getting frustrated. You may feel frustrated at times, especially if you're a beginner, but how you choose to react will make all the difference. Number 2, set small, measurable, realistic goals with a deadline. Most learners fail because they set big, vague goals, like, I want to be fluent. When they realize they have no idea how to do that, they lose motivation and quit. The solution to this? Set small, measurable, realistic goals with a deadline. For example, finish 10 audio lessons by the end of this week. Learn 20 words by the end of this week. Speak 1 minute of conversation by the end of this month. Listen to lessons for just 5 minutes a day, every day this month. Now your goals are small and realistic enough to accomplish. They're specific and measurable, so you know when you reach them, and the deadline gives you a finish line. For example, either you learned all 20 words by Friday or you didn't. When you reach your goal, you gain a ton of confidence. This improves your chances of reaching your next goal because you've had experience reaching a goal and you understand the things you need to do to be successful. Number 3, read along with the lesson notes and lesson transcripts. Now, what if you're doing a lesson but you can't catch a word? Take advantage of the lesson notes and lesson transcripts and read along with the lesson. The lesson notes give you in-depth grammar and vocabulary explanations that are not available in the lesson. And the lesson notes give you the word-for-word transcript of everything said in the lesson. So if you want to pick up every word, read the transcript. Number 4, review, because repetition is the mother of all learning. If you're struggling with a particular word, grammar rule, or lesson, be sure to repeat and review it a few times. And then, come back a few days later and review it again. This same principle is used in our spaced repetition flashcards. The system quizzes you on words, then re-quizzes you in 3 days, then in 6 days, and so on. until the word gets embedded in your long-term memory. Some things you can do right now are download the lesson and lesson notes, save the words to your word bank, or even write down the words or grammar rules. Then come back to review them later. Number 5. Reach out to our teachers and ask questions. If you're a Premium Plus member, you can easily get in touch with your teacher and get all of your points of confusion cleared up. Or you can always leave a comment on our lessons, and our teachers will get back to you. Remember, you're not alone. If you're struggling with a lesson, you can always get in touch with us. Number 6. Take a break and go do something else. Another thing you can do is take a break and do something else that doesn't require much thinking. There's a reason our best ideas come while in the shower or while taking a walk. While you're on a break, your brain is more relaxed and starts making connections that you couldn't see when you were focused and stressed out. It's also why coming back to review things with a fresh mind can help you better understand the lessons you've taken. Number 7. Downgrade your learning routine. If you're studying for 30 minutes a day and find yourself overwhelmed, or if you suddenly find yourself busy, the best thing to do is to reduce your study routine to something easier and more manageable. If you've been learning 30 minutes a day, drop down to 10 or 15 minutes. Even 5 minutes is good enough because language learning success comes with consistency. Quitting and coming back every 3 months won't work. This brings us to our next point. Number 8. Remember, learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. Think about it. You can't cram for 5 hours and expect to remember everything you've studied. So just like with a marathon, it's okay to go slow and at your own pace, even if you're learning for just 5 minutes a day. Similarly, if you're having trouble understanding a grammar point or a lesson, don't let it bring you down. Learning a language is a marathon, a long-term game. The little points of confusion you have now are just small obstacles, and you'll fully understand them with time. So, if you're ready to finally learn a new language the fast, fun, and easy way, sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Signing up takes less than 30 seconds, and you'll start speaking from your very first lesson. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! When learning a new language, we sometimes have a hard time with things like procrastination, discouragement, or failure. But don't panic. With a good strategy, you'll be able to overcome these difficulties. Are you ready to discover the 4 habits of successful learners? Number 1. Optimize your time. When learning a language, it's important to dedicate time to your studies regularly, even if sometimes it's difficult. You're busy with school, work, family, or friends, but you can spread out your learning throughout the day. Study whenever you have small gaps of time in your busy schedule. This can be when you're on the metro, on your lunch break, or while you're exercising. Our podcast learning format fits perfectly into your tight schedule. Number 2. Consistency with your chosen method. There are a lot of options when it comes to courses and learning materials. Switching from one method to another can confuse you and disrupt your progress. Focusing on one learning method will make a difference. Our method has been created and optimized by real teachers, so you can stick to it with confidence. Number 3. Use your language background. Many languages share some commonalities. You can find words that look or sound similar, or even share the same grammar structure. A little bit of language background will give you an edge while learning. Number 4. Study continuously. People are excited when they start learning a new language. The enthusiasm usually lasts until the first roadblock. This can lead to discouragement and procrastination. But don't burn yourself out. Learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't try to learn it all at once. Break things down into more digestible chunks. Learning step by step might feel slow, but it's an efficient way to learn a language. With patience, motivation, and good resources, you'll master the language. Remember, you can't learn a language overnight, but with motivation and these daily lessons, you'll be on the road to fluency. Give it a try now. Sign up for your account. Just click the link in the description.
Hi everybody, Edith here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Hebrew questions. The question for this lesson is, why is it that counting nouns in Hebrew, the counted noun is sometimes referred to as singular, even if there's more than one? You may have heard the common Hebrew birthday greeting, Ad 120 shana, meaning, may you live to be 120, or literally, until 120 years. If you have, you probably wondered why the word for year, shana, is in its singular form and not its plural form, shanim. The reason for this is a rule regarding Hebrew counting. When counting a noun in Hebrew, if you have more than 10 of the same item, you can refer to the items as singular or as plural. It's your choice. 10 items or fewer will always be plural. For example, 50 shekels could be either 50 shkalim or 50 shekel, and 75 people could either be 75 anashim or 75 ish. But 9 years can only be 9 shanim, and 5% can only be 5%. However, despite this rule, using the singular form for counting is common only with nouns that are counted frequently, like money, units of time such as hours, days, and years, or percents. It's unlikely to hear someone say, "Yesh 20 tzipor al ha'etz." It's like saying there are 20 birds on the tree. If you're unsure, you can just use the plural form with numbers except 1. It will always be appropriate. How was this lesson? Pretty interesting, right? Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. להתראות! Hi everybody, Edith here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Hebrew questions. The question for this lesson is, how can I tell what the plural forms of Hebrew nouns are? In order to understand plural nouns, you'll need to learn how nouns in Hebrew work first. All nouns are either masculine or feminine, and their gender depends on the last letter of the Hebrew word. Sounds confusing? Don't worry, we'll break it down in this lesson. Most feminine nouns end in the letters taf, t, or hey, h, while most masculine nouns end in any other letter. The plural form of the nouns is just as easy to remember. The basic rule is that feminine nouns change the last letter to the letters vav, taf, ot, while masculine nouns get an extra yod, mem at the end, im. Let's do some examples so you can learn how to make plural nouns correctly in Hebrew. First, let's take the word lamp, which in Hebrew is menorah. Lamp ends in hey, so it's feminine. To make a feminine noun plural, we simply remove the hey and add vav taf, ot, and get the word menorot, meaning lamps. Let's do another example with a masculine noun. The word for bag in Hebrew is tik. Tik is a masculine noun, so we just add yud mem, im, at the end, and we get tikim, meaning bags. So far, so good. But of course, there are some exceptions. Some nouns get the opposite gender ending in the plural form. For example, the word ant in Hebrew is nemala. It ends in hey, and like most of the nouns that end in this letter, it's a feminine noun. However, in the plural form, it takes on the masculine ending, so it sounds like this, nemalim, meaning ants. Another example is the word table, which in Hebrew is shulchan. Here, it's the opposite. Table is a masculine noun, but in the plural form, it takes the feminine ending, making the word shulchanot, tables. Unfortunately, there is no rule to help you figure out which are the exceptions to the rule. Hebrew learners just have to memorize them. How was this lesson? Pretty interesting, right? Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. להתראות! Hi everybody, Edith here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Hebrew questions. The question for this lesson is, what does the Hebrew expression rosh katan mean? The expression rosh katan literally means small head and is used to describe a person who only does the bare minimum or doesn't think outside the box. It's mostly a negative expression, but you can also use it to describe yourself, like this. אני מעדיף להיות ראש קטן. Literally, I prefer to be a small head. The opposite expression is ראש גדול, meaning big head. This describes a person who makes an effort to go above and beyond what is expected of him. It's a positive attribute and is often seen in job advertisements as something companies are looking for in a candidate. This expression can also appear in a different form as a verb, להגדיל ראש, to make one's head larger or to expand one's head. You can use this expression if you want to say that a certain person is very responsible and will go out of their way to think outside the box and find creative solutions. Here are a few examples. ענת היא מנהלת מצוינת. היא תמיד מגדילה ראש. Literally, Anat is an excellent manager. She always expands her head. Here's another example. איתי, אם אתה רוצה להתקדם בחברה, אתה חייב להתחיל להגדיל ראש. Literally, Itai, if you want to rise in the company ranks, you have to start expanding your head. Do you know any other Hebrew idioms? Tell us in the comments. How was this lesson? Pretty interesting, right? Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. להתראות! Hi everybody, Edith here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Hebrew questions. The question for this lesson is, what does the word Norah mean and how should it be used? The word Norah has gone through some interesting changes over the years. It appears in the Bible meaning awesome or awe-inspiring in reference to God. You can say it in this sentence from the book of Deuteronomy, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanorah, which means the great and mighty and awesome God. In modern-day Hebrew, the meaning of the word Norah has lost its positive aspects and become more about the fear-inducing aspects, becoming an adjective meaning terrible or awful, like in these examples. הסרט היה נורא. The movie was awful. Or in this one, זו הייתה חוויה נוראה. It was a horrible experience. The word Norah also appears in the expression lo nora, meaning something like, it's okay or it's not a big deal. Let's look at this example. Say you're with your roommate and you're on your way home. When you check your bag, you realize you forgot your keys. Your roommate could say, שכחת את המפתחות? לא נורא, יש לי מפתח. You forgot the keys? It's okay, I have a key. The word Norah can also be used as an adverb meaning very or terribly. It can be added to negative adjectives, but also to positive adjectives like נורא יפה, terribly beautiful, or נורא מעניין, very interesting. It can appear either before or after the adjective. One important thing to note is that this use of the word Norah is colloquial and shouldn't be used in formal situations. So next time you're with your Israeli friends, try using the word Norah with one of the many expressions we've learned in this lesson and see how you sound. How was this lesson? Pretty interesting, right? Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. להתראות! Hi everybody, Edith here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Hebrew questions. The question for this lesson is, what does the particle I mean in Hebrew? I is a prefix symbolizing negation. It comes from the word en, literally meaning there is no. When this prefix is joined with certain words, the compound means the opposite of the original word. As you may know, nouns in Hebrew have gender. So if you add a prefix to it, how do you know what gender it is? Trick question. Actually, the prefix doesn't affect the gender of the word it precedes. Let's look at some examples. The word havana means understanding, so אי-הבנה is misunderstanding, like in this sentence. אני מתנצלת, זו הייתה אי-הבנה. I apologize, it was a misunderstanding. The noun understanding, havana, is a feminine noun. When adding e to it, the gender doesn't change. This is why we use the feminine form of it was, זו הייתה. Next, we have the word justice, which in Hebrew is tzedek. So, when we combine it with the prefix e, it becomes tzedek. Injustice, like in this sentence. מדיניות הממשלה יוצרת אי-צדק חברתי. The government's policy is creating social injustice. The noun justice, tzedek, is masculine and wasn't changed by the prefix e. This is why the adjective social, חברתי, takes the masculine form. Our last tip is about the plural form. Once again, the prefix has no influence on the gender of the word. The word will take its plural form, if it has one, and the prefix will stay where it is. For example, let's look at the compound from the beginning of this lesson. Misunderstanding. Understanding is havana, so misunderstanding will be אי-הבנה. The plural form of understanding is havanot, so the plural form of misunderstanding is אי-הבנות. How was it? Pretty interesting, right? Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. להתראות! Hi everybody, Edith here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Hebrew questions. The question for this lesson is, why is it that in Hebrew some adjectives are different when they refer to people than when they refer to objects? This issue involves adjectives in their feminine form, mostly adjectives for nationality like American or Russian. The difference is in the ending of the adjectives. It can either be with it or with ya. For example, a Russian woman would be isha Rusiya, but a Russian boat will be sfina Rusit. So why does this happen? First of all, it's important to know that both forms of these adjectives are commonly used, but in different contexts. Usually the ending ya, like in Rusiya, Russian woman, is used to refer to a woman, while the ending it, like in Rusit, Russian boat, is used to describe places or objects, such as a restaurant, a shirt, or the Russian language. Grammatically speaking, both forms are acceptable. The foundation of Hebrew grammar is the Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible, in which we find both of those forms used for all purposes. In the Tanakh, the feminine ending ya describes women, but also objects or places, like in the word nochriya, meaning foreign. Some examples with this word would be Anuchi nochriya, I am foreign, and be'eretz nochriya, in a foreign country. Besides the ending ya, there is the ending it, also used in the Tanakh for both people and objects. For example, Isha Mitzrit, Egyptian woman. Dlat Mitzrit, Egyptian pumpkin. We can even find both endings for the same definition. Ruth HaMoaviyah, Ruth the Moabite, Ruth from the kingdom of Moab. Shimrit HaMoavit, Shimrit the Moabite, Shimrit from the kingdom of Moab. However, as I said earlier, in today's Hebrew there is usually a difference between the two forms. This rule doesn't apply only to nationalities, but to other adjectives as well. Let's look at some examples. Isha Datiya, religious woman. Shchuna Datit, religious neighborhood. Isha Chofshiya, free woman. Tznicha Chofshit, free falling, which more naturally translates as skydiving. Since this is not a set rule but rather a differentiation used in more common language, sometimes the ending it is used for a woman too, like in these examples. Secular woman, חילונית. Iranian woman, Iranit. Israeli woman, Israelit. Confused? Well, there are some good news. Regardless of the singular form, the plural form will always stay the same, yot. For example, let's look at some adjectives that are used when referring to a woman. As you may know, the adjective has to agree with the noun in both gender and number. Rusiot, Russian. Datiot, religious. Chofshiyot, free. How was this lesson? Pretty interesting, right? Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. להתראות! Hi everybody, Edith here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Hebrew questions. The question for this lesson is, why is the word panim, face in Hebrew, plural? This question has to do with an interesting phenomenon in the Hebrew language. There are a few nouns in Hebrew which are plural in their grammatical form, but singular conceptually. Sound confusing? Let's break it down. The four main nouns that are singular but plural grammatically are life, chaim, water, mayim, and sky, shamayim. In addition to the noun form, this lesson's question, panim. As you can see, all of these words have typical plural masculine endings, im. Grammatically speaking, these words are plural. They don't have a singular form, and the adjectives attached to them will take a plural form as well. Some examples would be chaim arukim, long life, mayim chamim, hot water, shamayim meunanim, cloudy sky, panim yafim, or yafot, pretty face. This noun is both feminine and masculine. So why are these words plural? There is no definite answer to this question, but there are a few interesting theories. One of those theories suggests that these words are plural because all of these nouns are constantly changing. Each of them is one noun that actually has many forms and cannot be captured by a singular noun. How was this lesson? Pretty interesting, right? Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. להתראות!
Do you feel like you don't speak enough Hebrew? That you need to know more words? Then stick around. With these lessons, you'll pick up some of the most common words in just a few minutes. Now, this video is a small portion of our learning program. To get the full lessons, translations, and Fluency Fast study tools, click the link in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account.
März, March. März, März, March. אפריל עכשיו, אז החודש הקודם היה מרץ. It is now April, so last month was March. אפריל עכשיו, אז החודש הקודם היה מרץ. אפריל, April. אפריל, אפריל, April. גשמי אפריל מביאים פרחים במאי. April showers bring May flowers. גשמי אפריל מביאים פרחים במאי. מאי, May. מאי, מאי, May. 31 במאי הוא היום הבינלאומי נגד עישון. May 31st is World No Smoking Day. 30 במאי הוא היום הבינלאומי נגד עישון. יוני, June. יוני, יוני. June. אנחנו מתחתנים ביוני. We are getting married in June. אנחנו מתחתנים ביוני. יולי, July. יולי, יולי. July. יולי נקרא על שמו של יוליוס קיסר, שנולד ביולי. July is named for Julius Caesar, who was born in July. יולי נקרא על שמו של יוליוס קיסר, שנולד ביולי. אוגוסט, August. אוגוסט, אוגוסט. August. בית הספר סגור באוגוסט. The school is closed in August. בית הספר סגור באוגוסט. September, September. 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 בספטמבר מתחיל הסתיו בחצי הכדור הצפוני, והאביב בחצי הכדור הדרומי. In September, fall begins in the northern hemisphere, and spring in the southern hemisphere. בספטמבר מתחיל הסתיו בחצי הכדור הצפוני, והאביב בחצי הכדור הדרומי. אוקטובר, October. אוקטובר. 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 ליל כל הקדושים חל ב-31 באוקטובר. Halloween falls on October 31st. ליל כל הקדושים חל ב-31 באוקטובר. נובמבר. November. 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 חג ההודיה, יום חמישי, ה-24 בנובמבר. Thanksgiving, Thursday, November 24th. חג ההודיה, יום חמישי, ה-24 בנובמבר. דצמבר. December. דצמבר. דצמבר. December. ה-31 בדצמבר הוא ערב ראש השנה. December 31st is New Year's Eve. ה-31 בדצמבר הוא ערב ראש השנה. מרץ, March. אפריל, April. מאי, May. יוני, June. יולי, July. אוגוסט, August. ספטמבר, September. אוקטובר, October. נובמבר, November. דצמבר, December.
Now that you're finished with this lesson, want to know if your Hebrew skills have improved? Take our free assessment test to assess your language, discover your true learning level, and get free access to a language course for your specific level. An easy-to-follow course where you learn the real language, the everyday conversations that you'll soon have, and absorb these practical conversations just by listening along, with quick audio and video lessons from real teachers. So click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get assessed. Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to use when talking on the phone. After watching this video, you'll be able to ask for someone on the phone and to put someone on hold. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Making a Phone Call PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
שלום, אפשר לדבר עם האחראי?
כן, רק רגע.
Once more with the English translation.
שלום, אפשר לדבר עם האחראי?
Hello, I'd like to speak with the person in charge.
כן, רק רגע.
Okay, just a moment. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say hello on the phone. That's
שלום, שלום.
Then you'll need to learn how to say, I'd like to speak with person. The pattern is
אפשר לדבר עם
person. This Hebrew sentence literally translates as, can I speak with person? But it means, I'd like to speak with person. For example, hello, I'd like to speak with the person in charge.
שלום, אפשר לדבר עם האחראי? שלום, אפשר לדבר עם האחראי?
Now, how do you answer this question?
כן, רק רגע.
Okay, just a moment. Listen to it again.
כן, רק רגע. כן, רק רגע.
This Hebrew sentence literally translates as, yes, just a moment, but it means, okay, just a moment. Here are a few more phrases you can use with the same pattern to talk on the phone. The person in charge.
האחראי. האחראי.
A sales representative.
סוכן מכירות. סוכן מכירות.
The manager.
מנהל. מנהל.
Customer service.
שירות לקוחות. שירות לקוחות.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
אפשר לדבר עם סוכן מכירות?
כן, רק רגע.
אפשר לדבר עם המנהל?
כן, רק רגע.
אפשר לדבר עם שירות הלקוחות?
כן, רק רגע.
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, I'd like to speak with person?
אפשר לדבר עם...
Person. And how do you answer it?
כן, רק רגע.
Imagine you want to talk to a sales representative. Do you remember how to say, a sales representative?
סוכן מכירות. סוכן מכירות.
Say, I'd like to speak with a sales representative.
אפשר לדבר עם סוכן מכירות?
Now say you want to talk to a sales representative and answer it.
אפשר לדבר עם סוכן מכירות?
כן, רק רגע.
Now, imagine you want to talk to the manager. Do you remember how to say, the manager?
מנהל. מנהל.
Say, I'd like to speak with the manager.
אפשר לדבר עם המנהל?
Now say you want to talk to the manager and answer it.
אפשר לדבר עם המנהל?
כן, רק רגע.
Now imagine you want to talk to customer service. Do you remember how to say customer service?
שירות לקוחות. שירות לקוחות.
Say, I'd like to speak with customer service.
אפשר לדבר עם שירות הלקוחות?
Now say you want to talk to customer service and answer it.
אפשר לדבר עם שירות הלקוחות?
כן, רק רגע.
In this lesson, you learned new vocabulary and phrases you can use in your everyday life to talk on the phone. You're now able to answer the phone like a native speaker. Start by practicing in the comments below. Tell us and your fellow learners whom you'd like to call. Lastly, don't forget to click the link in the description and download your PDF cheat sheets. You'll get useful phrases you need for everyday life for free. See you in the next lesson. Bye! Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, we'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, what kind of movies do you like? After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about movies and ask other people about their favorite kinds of movies. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Talking About Movies and TV PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
איזה סוג של סרטים את אוהבת?
אני אוהבת סרטי אימה.
Once more with the English translation.
איזה סוג של סרטים את אוהבת?
What kind of movies do you like?
אני אוהבת סרטי אימה.
I like horror. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, what kind of movies do you like? That's,
איזה סוג של סרטים את אוהבת?
listen to it again.
איזה סוג של סרטים את אוהבת? איזה סוג של סרטים את אוהבת?
Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is
אני אוהבת סרטי.
type of movie. I like type of movie. For example, I like horror.
אני אוהבת סרטי אימה. אני אוהבת סרטי אימה.
Here are a few more kinds of movies you can use with the same pattern to talk about movies. Horror,
אימה, אימה,
comedy,
קומדיה, קומדיה,
fantasy,
פנטזיה, פנטזיה,
romance,
דרמה, דרמה.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
איזה סוג של סרטים את אוהבת?
אני אוהבת סרטי קומדיה.
איזה סוג של סרטים את אוהבת?
אני אוהבת סרטי פנטזיה.
איזה סוג של סרטים את אוהבת?
אני אוהבת סרטי דרמה.
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, what kind of movies do you like?
איזה סוג של סרטים את אוהבת?
Imagine you like comedies. Do you remember how to say comedy?
קומדיה, קומדיה,
Say, I like comedy.
אני אוהבת סרטי קומדיה.
Now answer the question saying that you like comedies.
איזה סוג של סרטים את אוהבת?
אני אוהבת סרטי קומדיה.
Now imagine that you like fantasy movies. Do you remember how to say fantasy?
פנטזיה, פנטזיה,
Say, I like fantasy.
אני אוהבת סרטי פנטזיה.
Now, answer the question saying you like fantasy movies.
איזה סוג של סרטים את אוהבת?
אני אוהבת סרטי פנטזיה.
Now imagine you like romantic movies. Do you remember how to say romance?
דרמה, דרמה,
Say, I like romance.
אני אוהבת סרטי דרמה.
Now answer the question saying you like romantic movies.
איזה סוג של סרטים את אוהבת?
אני אוהבת סרטי דרמה.
In this lesson, you learned new vocabulary and phrases you can use in your everyday life to talk about movies. You are now able to talk about types of movies like a native speaker. Start by practicing in the comments below. Tell us what your favorite kind of movie is. Lastly, don't forget to click the link in the description and download your PDF cheat sheets. You'll get useful phrases you need for everyday life for free. See you in the next lesson. Bye! Okay, today's topic is 4 rules for staying motivated with language learning. You're going to learn 1. The mistake people make with motivation, 2. The 4 rules for motivation, and 3. How you can apply the 4 rules to your language learning. Do you wish you were more motivated about language learning? You watch motivational videos, you feel good for a second, but none of it sticks. This lesson may have some tips to help you. First, listen up. Here are this month's new lessons and resources. First, the 24-hour survival phrases cheat sheet. Traveling and want to learn a bit of the language? Then these survival phrases will help you with the first 24 hours. Second, the ultimate listening video master course. How good are your listening skills? Watch this free video master course to more easily understand native speakers. You can download it right now. Third, the 50 most common verbs all beginners must know. Do you know all of these verbs? If not, this lesson will drill the 50 most common verbs into your head. Just use the free audio slideshow tool inside. And fourth, 20 strategies for learning a language at home. Want to learn a language from the comfort of your own home? This 1-minute lesson gives you all the best tactics for learning languages. To get your free resources, click the link in the description below right now. They're yours to keep forever. Okay, let's jump into today's topic. 4 rules for staying motivated with language learning. Want to know how to really stay motivated? Then listen closely to these 4 rules. These rules might be a little different from the advice that you often hear. Ready? Rule number 1, action comes first. Are you the type of person who prefers to make things happen? Or are you the type that waits for things to happen to you? One of the best ways to stay motivated with language learning is to not think about motivation. Instead, take action and start learning. The mistake that most people make is that they have this backwards. They think they should wait to feel motivated first and then start learning. But really, it's the other way around. First, you do a language lesson. You learn a basic conversation. Then you do another. And then you start feeling like you can do more and learn more. You see results. So results bring motivation. Thinking about motivation does not bring motivation. Thinking about motivation is like reading an article about how to go outside for a run instead of actually going outside for a run. So action comes first. Rule number 2, always have an outside influence. It's very easy to lose motivation if you're learning language alone. So what do? Here are some examples. You get a study buddy. You hire a tutor. You join a meetup group. You plan a trip to a country where people speak that language. Or you sign up for a proficiency test, like many language learners do. Why do this? Because now you have other people depending on you. You have outside factors that keep you going with the language. For example, if you signed up for a language proficiency test, you know you have a few months to study and you have to take the test on a certain date. Someone is going to pass or fail you. This is a lot more motivating than learning alone. If you're learning with our program, you can get your own teacher with the Premium Plus plan. They'll hold you accountable, send you homework, and give you feedback. If you have a study buddy, well, now you have someone that expects you to show up and improve. And if they're better than you, that should give you extra motivation because you want to be at their level. So get some outside influence. The next rule is rule number 3. Always have a go-to study method. When you arrive at work or the gym, or when you start your homework, you always have that one thing you do first, right? What do? For example, with work, maybe the very first thing you do is check emails. Then you check your tasks for the week. After that, you get started. Well, you need to make the same kind of habits with language learning. You need a go-to study method that you're comfortable with, an easy starting point. And this totally depends on you and your style. Choose something you enjoy. Some people listen to audio lessons. Some people like flashcards. For some people, writing is easy. You can write out song lyrics and translate them. It's up to you. The point is, you should give yourself an easy first step to get you started and get into the flow of learning. If you're learning with our program, you can start with the Word of the Day email or do a quick 3-minute audio lesson. You can copy out the lesson dialogue, read through the lesson notes, or even easier, just review and re-listen to a lesson you took the day before. If you have your own go-to study method, you're already miles ahead of most learners. Leave a comment and tell us about it. And finally, rule number 4, always be working on something. So here, I want you to stop and think about your friends. Do you have a friend that's always up to something, some project? They're working on a song, or they're making videos. They finish one thing and they start another. Well, if you wonder how they stay motivated, it's because they're always working on something. And this goes back to taking action. If you're not learning or working, you can't stay motivated. So you need to apply this to language learning. How? For example, like I mentioned in part 2 about outside influence, you can make a plan to travel to a country that speaks your target language. Or you can sign up for a language proficiency test. If you do that, you'll have something to look forward to, something to do. If you're traveling, you need to learn travel phrases. If you have a proficiency test coming up, you have to study grammar and do exercises. What else can you do? If you already have a textbook or workbook, make it a goal to finish that book. If you have a learning program, make it a goal to finish it or reach a certain level. If you're using our lessons, make it a goal to finish one learning pathway. Then, when you're done, give yourself something else to do, something to stick with, something to look forward to. So, let's recap. 1. Action comes first. 2. Always have an outside influence. 3. Always have a go-to study method. And 4. Always be working on something. So, thank you for watching this episode of Monthly Review. Next time, we'll talk about how to get a return on your language learning investment. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way, and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. See you next time. Bye! Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Hebrew ebook before it's gone.